clear?
Good.
Okay, everybody, welcome to our third module online in the preparation for our encounter in Chiang Mai, Thailand. So I hope everybody is already, getting in their flight tickets, etc., to arrive to Thailand. So don't forget about the homeworks, the things that we are preparing. You put on the folders, the drives, so we can check. And also, we are going to work with those materials in Chiang Mai, So soon we are going to send the program, So you have to prepare something, for example, to bring some material for showing also your activities in the communities, indigenous communities, or the organizations working with, So then you prepare. Also, we are recording this material, so it can be reviewed, especially those who could be absent or for any reason. No, we understand. So everybody can also come back, to the video and see something. No, so we say today, welcome to Father George from India. Then Father George is also one of the founders of Roots Asia, our network. And then also Father George will be in Chiang Mai. So put attention, because everything he will have to ask directly there in Thailand. Father George has been also working in Thailand for many years, also associated with the Vatican, Radio Vatican, and another things. I think, Father, huh? So, Father, we like you for
FABC.
Yes. Okay, that's. And we thank you, Father.
So, thank you. Thank you, Father Alvaro, for leading this training of trainers. I also thank Louis for assisting me. I thank all of you for participating in the training of the trainers because you joined without having clear ideas about what we are going to do and what is the purpose of this training. Some of you might know, but others are still not having a proper clue. But I'm sure after we meet in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, and before you leave, you will definitely understand. Already we had classes with Father Nipot, a very basic understanding of how we work with indigenous communities and begin our reflection, theologizing, celebrating indigenous cultures. Now, one of the important things is research. Why we very little about indigenous people. This is not so much to explain ourselves to others, but to understand, to deepen our understanding of the reality of the indigenous. Instead of making guesswork, we want to analyze data. We have to talk to people, compile information, and so that we can develop deeper knowledge of indigenous people and issues. So that's our topic. And how to do research with some of the scientific tools. And while we have a combination of the scientific tools that are being used in general, but we also will talk about what are the guidelines or parameters that we have to keep in mind when we are doing any research related to indigenous people and issues. Our special attention will be on Asia, and I will be having class today and next Monday again. After that, we meet in Chiang Mai. By then, you will have a clarity on a research project. So therefore, please pay attention to the dynamics and the guidelines, which will help you practical research, very small research, in order to put you through the process so that you can later on do bigger research, either as individuals or as groups or as organizations in your country, in your context. So this is a purpose. So we are going ongoing sessions. I have put there Chiang Mai, July 2025. That is like kind of the end. After that too, we will meet on, and I'm sure we have a record of people who are regularly participating. This program involves a lot of work, particularly for Albero. For more than a year, he has been preparing, consulting, sharing ideas and plans. And now this has happened. It is being materialized. Therefore, let us take this very good opportunity that is given to us to an understanding. So, Luis, please change the slide. Next slide. Yeah, I start with a quotation from Albert Einstein. If we knew what we were doing, it wouldn't be called research, would it? He's asking a question. So when we are doing research, we are doing something to find out something which we do not know. So we are for knowledge. We want to understand, and we want to understand and get information that's accurate, which is valid, which we facts that nobody will dispute if we do the research properly. And as you understand this quotation, you will get to know more what does it mean. It's a learning process, the deepening of the already existing knowledge. We have some knowledge, but we are not too sure if that knowledge is authentic, accurate, and complete. Therefore, we deepen that through research. Next. Next slide. Yes. So what is the purpose? What do we achieve through research? First is to enhance knowledge of what we know. So we have some knowledge, as I said, but we want to firm up, we want to accurate, we want to get new information and new knowledge. We know something, but we want to get new information. I will give you examples later. We have people also trying to prove something. So we want to show what is better. That's why we call it competitive advantage. We want to test new products. For example, when the COVID time, we had vaccines. So different companies are producing vaccines. It's only through research that we can find out, or testing, or that one is most effective, which is helpful, which has got side effects. And when we had the COVID-19, many people are ignorant about so many things. And many people are making also claims about that the vaccine is good, etc. And also negative consequences. This could be about products. It could also be about services. Some organizations want to distribute food. Now, there is not enough food to come for it, but we want to give. So we might help to find out who are the economically who should be given how much food. We might help make data to find out what is the quantity that is required, or we vary that data according to the size of the family and so on, or the food consumption pattern. It is a test that will help us to understand how to some places people eat rice. Mostly we eat Asia rice people, but there are also people who eat wheat or maize and so on. So we need to identify what kind of food to give. If we give the wrong type of food, people might not eat it, so they will waste it. Therefore, only through research we can find out what is the first preference, second preference, third preference, etc. Research can help us. Research can find solutions and solve problems. Solutions for flood or cyclone. Okay, one of the issues that indigenous people face is a lot of climate-related issues, seasonal flooding, random climate changes, unexpected floods, we call flash. So we find out how can we resolve these issues. Maybe creating water bodies, maybe trying to create harvesting rainwater. So when this, we can store them. So only through research we could be the solution, or how can we solve a problem. Sometimes people are dropping out of school. Children after class 3 or 4, they stop studying. So we can find out what is the solution. First of all, what is the problem, and then try to find out. So this is the result of research that we can do. We can also forecast the future and be prepared. Yeah, this year we are going to have excess rain or excessively hot season, or the COVID problem is to create a food shortage or unemployment, or there's a war that is happening. We know that there will be a price rise, there will be shortage of food. So accordingly, we can be forewarned. Through research, we can find out these consequences are likely to happen. Then we can also help to overcome problems, avoiding problems as well as overcoming problems. These are related. So these are the things that research can help us. We might say you don't need research to do this. It is enough to have a common sense. Common sense is required for research, but research will give you more accurate data. It will be more sure because if you just guesswork, sometimes it may be more false. That's the reason why we undertake research. Next. Research can be descriptive. So when you describe a situation as a result of research, now, for example, COVID, you are describing how it is spread, what are the symptoms. Okay, that also needs research in order to do. So that's simply a descriptive research. Then we have an explanatory research. Explanatory research will try to say how a particular thing is caused, why malaria is or HIV is caused, or floods are happening, what is the cause, why is happening, and how it is happening. That would be called a explanatory type of research. We are trying to explain a reality, a phenomena that is the. So descriptive is simply describing. Explanatory, we will try to explain how it is happening. Predicative is consequences and the effect that we try to predict. Okay, if this is not controlled, the effect could be like this. So many people could die. People might die. Now, if the children are not vaccinated when they are small against polio or any other sickness, smallpox, then this would be the consequences. So many percentage of the people can become ill. So if the food habits are not controlled, we can predict that by 2040, so many percentage of the population may have diabetics. So medical research is continuously going on, and that is giving us a lot of benefit as the research, because what we are enjoying to advantages we have today are a result of the research by scientists. Nobel Prizes for medical research in the area of science, technology, and so on. Then we have prescriptive type of research. Prescriptive is telling us what to do, how to deal with a situation. Research might help to understand. Earlier, people thought that word malaria is coming from Italian word, which means bad air. So people thought it was coming through the bad air that malaria was spread. At that time, nobody knew it was through the mosquitoes. So you can already know that prescription, that malaria-prone areas, you have to take preventives, You can use mosquito nets. You can use various things to destroy malaria, mosquitoes, which breed very easily. Remove the and use clean hygiene localities to live. Secure rooms with mosquito proof, etc. So they are prescriptive. So these things come from the research saying that this particular thing will be more helpful than the other. So I gave the example here, the COVID pandemic. From there, you can use descriptive, explanatory, predicative, prescriptive. So all these are different methods. There are more, but I'm only giving you the most important ones. You don't have to write down this. We can share you this PPT and also the notes. More elaborate notes are there, which I will post after the class. Luis will share with you. So you have to read up. And after that, in the next class, I will tell you about how to do the practical research and in the MICA. You must have already chosen a topic and you will discuss with me in person. How during the session, after the session, I'll be reaching on the 10, 11, 12, 13, I'll leave. So the short time that I'm there, each one can meet me and discuss and plan your research. After you go back, then you will research. Then again, we will come back to present your finding before. So in between, if you need on request, I will again meet some classes online after go to the final stage. Our team members will sit together to listen to you, how you have done the research, and so they will give you the feedback and all these things. So that is the plan. Next slide. Next, yeah. So there are some characteristics of research. Research is not simply doing anything. It should be controlled. It should be rigorous, systematic, valid, and research is the foundation of knowledge. That is a statement. So in order to do research, we have to keep in mind that research must be controlled. That means you cannot do research for everybody. Normally we take a sample size. We cannot test on all the people, 1 billion people, 10 million people. It's not possible. We cannot. In a small family, we can do, yes. We take the population, we call it population, and research that does not mean population of the country. Or we call it also, okay, it should be rigorous. That means you have to have very clear criterion for doing research. So you have to have a hypothesis. I'll explain what is hypothesis. It should be within the parameters because there's guidelines. You cannot be just vague, and the result also will be vague. And research should be done systematically. There are some steps which I will explain. It should be done systematically. It should be valid. That means we have. If that knowledge is not reliable, your research has no value. So it should have a value that when you say that this is the cause of such and such a thing, or this, then people are going to use it. Your knowledge will be used scientifically because it is proved to be like that. Then research should be empirical. That means you have to test. It is not a fiction. It's not based on imagination. You are creating in your mind. So it should be talked to the people and collect the data and the facts are there. And normally in the research, you will also say, how did you do the research? So that people who are reading your research finding and know these are the ways that you have to come to Chiang Mai. Okay, so the shortest route. Then we can check which is the shortest route you took. Whether you have gone here and there, you went to, I don't know, Australia, and then you came to Chiang Mai. That's not the shortest route. So we can check the empirical facts to verify. So all this will help us to give a strong foundation to the knowledge that we are establishing. Next. What is your beginning? Some points. You may say facts are real. Yeah, but today there are a lot of fake news, information that is pretending to be facts, but they are not facts. So many people also spread false news. For instance, during the pandemic, WHO declared a word that became very widespread, which was created during the pandemic. It is called infodemic. Infodemic. If you don't know, you can write down. Infodemic is spreading information just like a virus. A false information that is spreading very quickly. So today with the social media, and the media is agent for promoting. Media in itself is indifferent, but people are using it for spreading panic, spreading false information, and so on. Now about Pope Leo. So many types of videos on the YouTube are coming, and the YouTube itself has taken out some other dicastery for communication as a consultant. So we know the dicastery has already relaunched the website and made a special YouTube channel in order to ensure that people are not posting anything and everything. Things like Pope Leo is arrested or is suspended. Somebody said that these are all not authentic and they can do a lot of harm because people are believe, including priests, nuns, they tend to believe that this is true because they saw it in the social media. This should help us to lead to facts, truth. Then to achieve new thoughts, we can get new thoughts, evaluate information. Yes, somebody is claiming something, then we can check it whether this is true. Somebody says, I have cured so many people of HIV/AIDS with herbal medicine. So you evaluate. Not those people have been healed. You contact the so-called healed people. You go and collect the information and you find that they are not. They are really not healed. So the medical practitioner may be sometimes making a claim which is false. So you can check and evaluate the information. You can test a hypothesis. So somebody says something, then children are dropping out of school because they are too lazy. Okay. So then you can check it. It may be that there is a river to cross, big river, and children are not going to school, high school, because there's a river and there is no boat, there's no bridge. And so in the village, there's a school only up to class 4. So all the students are dropping out up to class 4 after that not studying. Then you might find that the hypothesis that they are too lazy, so that they are not going for study. Or the hypothesis may be that the parents don't want to study so that they can work in the field. They are employing them for farm work. So that hypothesis may be proved wrong. So this is a negative hypothesis. Hypothesis is a tentative sentence, a premise. So when you are doing research, you also take a hypothesis and you try to find whether this hypothesis is true or not by using data. For my doctorate, I did a study on press, the newspapers, whether newspapers are socially responsible or I collect all the data, I analyze. Okay. So you want to study whether the parents are encouraging students to study. Parents are discouraging the students to study in the village. In the indigenous community, maybe you take one village, and then you can go there and collect the data. You can find out. Your hypothesis is that parents are encouraging the students. But after you may find that this is not true. Then your hypothesis, negative hypothesis, have been proved to be false, and then your claim that parents are truly encouraging can be established. So for the sake of research, sometimes purposely you take a negative so that it will become more accurate. When you disprove a premise, a statement, then the knowledge become more stronger. Otherwise, you try to say something and then try to prove that this is like that, then it is not the right way. So when you are taking several hypotheses, you can have a positive hypothesis, negative hypothesis. Positive hypothesis must be proved to be true. Negative, you disprove it. So that way, your knowledge will be accurate. Then to design and to do the research. So you call it the design. Design part is how the research is done. So all the parameters connected with the research. We'll say more about it later on. Then the objective is to improve understanding. So we already said that enhance knowledge, deepen our understanding about any of the phenomenon that we are seeing. Next slide. Please move. Yes. Come to the indigenous research. What the difference between research and indigenous research? Our concern is indigenous communities and people and the issues connected with them. First of all, understand help to understand indigenous and local knowledge systems. I'm sure from the father report, so indigenous and local knowledge is very important. Sometimes government brings some knowledge from outside and try to impose it on people, and it not. Just to give you one example, in a particular place, people did not have. There was water shortage, drinking water, and it was an indigenous community, and so the government made a very big well. They dug the well, and they got a lot of water, and so they are very happy. They prepared the report and they presented. And lot. After 1 year, when they came to see how the people are, they found that nobody is using that well water. Instead, they are throwing all the waste, everything into that well. And they are not using the water. So at that time, they inquired and they found that it is very difficult to do a project like that without people, doubting the people in that village. Most of the ethnic people, indigenous people, they like to drink running water coming from the stream, from the mountain, and not from the well, which is stagnant. Is bad water. Running water is good water. So people did not, the government authorities did not do enough research. They did not talk to the people. They came from outside with all the machine. They made the well and they made water in the well and went away. But water was not used because this is a indigenous people have a knowledge system, a practice of using particular type of managing water. So they should have created sources in the mountain and bring it down through bamboo or pipe and make it running water. This would have been useful. So sometimes understanding indigenous and local knowledge is important even for development work. Research can address policy and planning. Same thing. That is, before planning any policy, planning use research will help you. Maybe education for children, food security for the people, economic development. Okay, so we can see how we can make policy. Suppose now many countries they make a age. The girl should be 18, the boy should be 21 before they get married. If you do 16 or 17-year-old girl gets married, then it will be possible. Okay, one woman, the parents, and so on. Child marriage or non-adult marriage can be given up. So you find that in spite of the policy, the people are not practicing. Then you have to do research to implement this policy or create motivation and so on. Okay. Then next, voices and perspectives. In indigenous research, we always try to previous slide. Previous slide. Can you go back one slide?
Previous.
Please. Yeah, correct. Thank you. Prioritize indigenous voices and perspectives. So we have to talk to the people, listen to their voices, listen to their opinion, their point of view, in order to do research with indigenous people. Don't sit in office and in your computer and do. No, you go back. Next slide. Go ahead. One more. Hello. Hello.
Next slide.
Next slide. Then understand research from the perspective of individuals. Please. No, don't move. What's going on? Next one.
The next one.
Yeah, okay. Keep there. So last one, acknowledge IP studio. So we have to take advantage of the knowledge which the people have. Then some other parameters in order to research, undertake to do the research in ways that are respectful. I think you understand this. I don't have to explain. You have to be respectful to the people of the indigenous people. We have to respect, we have to appreciate the okay, and tell them that you are going to see how their cultivation. Not going to find the cultivation method is not good or bad. Try to understand how they are cultivating. What are the ways that they are cultivating? Respect their method, respect their reason for doing this way, and so on. Build a strong research relationship. So good research should also, you have to sometimes stay there with the people, more time, to do in a hurry. Today they're too much in a hurry. Sometimes they are not even going, they are sending to collect the data. Data, not in the people. Okay. People on whom you are doing the research. Understand the historical context of research with indigenous people. Context. If the people are moving from place to place, they will not make very nice houses. Okay, so they will tell you why they are making houses, because they will stay there some years, cultivate, and the people may move to another mountain, another hill, another place where there is more fertile land. They're not investing too much on the big buildings. That is happening in the city. So if you go to the indigenous people, find that they will make. Sometimes you see that people are not making houses. I have seen this. People make houses on the hillside, not in the valley. And in the hill, it is more difficult to bring water, bring firewood. But the people know that it is better, healthier. No water, no mosquitoes, no contagious sicknesses, borne diseases, and you get very. And if it is a cold place on the hilltop, it is very. So people choose. They have got their own reasons, and these reasons are very valid because they have experienced or their elders traditionally have taught them. So you cannot say, "Oh, there is no road, therefore this is not a good place to live." Then methods that align with indigenous values and knowledge. Okay, about the respect. So these things you have to try to reflect more and more, try to understand your own indigenous communities better. Working, or if you belong to an indigenous community, note down these important points related to your community so that how certain things are very valuable. Sometimes people from outside, they think, but this is right. Nepot will have told you. People are practicing this for many years, so they have, they know the value of. Next one. Hello. Next slide, please.
Yes. Okay. Already, Father. Okay, please.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So some of the issues, indigenous issues, I will be giving you some 35 topics. Nobody will repeat the topic, but the topics are all to be studied from the indigenous. Today I will post this PPT and the notes. That by next Monday you should have read it. The class I will give you the methodology and all other guidelines. Now, research on indigenous people must adopt the methodology. So if the people are not able to write in ink, they can fill up. So, then, okay, culturally responsive. Maybe in the group, prioritize relation context. Yes. Ethnic indigenous people have very close relationship, family bond, clan, or the kith and kith, or there is other groups. So you have to understand that, and the community. Indigenous people are not individuals. They are. Don't talk about. They want everybody to become improve their condition. They are not individualistic or self. Again, I repeat that when people's voices, what are they saying? Explanations. You have to be patient to listen to them. Listen. Also, synodality is about listening. The people through whom God will speak. Okay. We should have respect, uphold respect, reciprocity. They are very kind and polite. We also show that reciprocate, respect, and the way of behavior come with something new and totally strange, and you quite different. responsibility by being the way they are living, don't disturb, and you have to take responsibility when you do research, which means you also respect the information and don't go and confidential. Ensure research. Yes, we are doing research in order to help the deepen the understanding of the community, and it should also benefit the community. Okay, if we find that, okay, I gave example of children dropping out from going to school. So there is no bridge, there is no boat, and the school is put on the other side. So as a result of your research, you might say there is need for a bridge, or you have to bring one high school in this side of the river where more people are living. The school is in the wrong place. So then your research will have some benefits. But you can find out that this is because of the risk. One family friend of mine, they have a big resort, and they do a lot of help for the people. So the people nearby, they came. There are a lot of elephants in that area. So the indigenous community, the children are afraid to go because on the way there are elephants. If they go walking, parents are afraid. For a school bus, asking this organization, this resort people are very good Catholics, and they're very socially responsible. They do a lot of help. So when I was visiting, and they are having the board meeting, the chairman invited me also to come and sit in there. And then he asked me, what do you think? So I said, yes, this is a genuine request. They are having dropout attendance very poor in the school because they are not able to go. Then I said, you can give the bus, but you also must put a condition that they must report to you the attendance record and the results of the school, how the students are benefiting. That research will have, that service will have no benefit for the doing. You can either find out what is the best way to solve this problem of the children going to the school in spite of the elephants. Okay, so either you create some safeguard or put support so that they don't walk on the forest road. There are roads also. So research must help the community find out this is a need. Accordingly, you can address the need. Sometimes you do something and that is no benefit, it is wasted. Then adopt methods which go beyond traditional ones. So only solution. Oh, we were doing like this before. Now people have been cutting the forest and cultivating. Now you don't want to be destroyed. In the past, it was okay. There was plenty of land, so they could cultivate, burn the forest, cultivate, then go to another place. After 10 years, you come back, or 15 years, you come back. Again, the forest has come back. Available land is less, population has grown, and therefore, so don't say this is the only way to do. No, you give a better method, which is more suitable, but discuss as a result of your research, find out how to wean the people away from particular custom or way of doing without changing their belief, their values, etc. Next. Next. Yeah. Some of the principles, some points I'll be repeating so that it will become reinforced. Respect and reciprocity, that means knowledge system. There's a lot of wisdom in this we don't know. We are biased, or we are, because we don't know this, we think that is whatever we don't know is wrong or inferior. Not necessarily. So respect. Second, what is most relevant topic in the context of the community and address their priorities. You take the research. Take responsibility that you have to be accountable to the community and that research will benefit them. We already said. Empowerment. So, determination and control over research. Help the people to become powerful. They themselves will guide you and give you understanding about their own self-determination. Okay, so it must lead to a good motivation that research is to empower the people and you involve the people in having control over what is being discussed, how the research is being undertaken. Very often I have seen indigenous people are studied from outside, people who just want to get a degree, PhD. And these days I've been going to many another university where 5,000 students are. These universities, when I go, I talk to this, I tell them, don't make your research degree oriented. The goal should not only just be a degree, a PhD or any community. How can you improve society? How can you improve people? And this is very, very for indigenous research. So keep that in mind, that empowerment of the people, respect for them, and relevance of your responsibility all this time. Values that you must very faithfully follow while being prepared. Next.
George?
You may have a yes.
Father, I
Yes.
think we
We
have
are,
about
you want to
12
give a-
minutes more. So maybe you can give us a little
Okay.
space for comments and questions.
So you want now or at the end of it? Because some of the things I say maybe already the question that you are going to ask me. That's why.
Yeah. Maybe you can finish.
Yeah.
And,
If anybody has any question,
we have now
I'm
11
going to
minutes.
say about
Okay,
it.
Father.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will also go a little bit fast to finish, but you will get this PPT today itself. It will be put in the state by. You can again go through, and in the next class also you can ask me any question or clarification on this PPT and the notes. You please read it by next Monday. I expect all to have read it. My class is next Monday. It's okay. So some of the key consideration when you interview indigenous elders and others, we have to engage the community process, interview particularly the leaders, village headman, and senior people. They have more knowledge. Oral tradition and so on. This quantitative data that is relevant. Quantitative, I'll tell you again what it is. Challenge colonial structures and approaches. So we have some scientific methods which are very colonial. The same way. Prioritize indigenous voice, I already mentioned. Recognize researches on bias and power dynamics. So research, they are funding research, but they want the research to be done like this. That they have some agenda, they have got some interest, or have some bias. So you say those people are very easy to say without knowing whether this is true or not. So have respect, identify, find out, and then you bring up research must be conducted ethically and with a point of respect, and also it should be sound. Ethically means sometimes medical companies and so on are doing research in order to prove something. and not to sell some product, okay, to market some. So they will try to collect some rate or under rate. They want to sell some product. Then they try to make it popular through research and say so many people are using. Okay, you want to drink Coca-Cola, you'll say 60% of the youth are drinking Coca-Cola. May not be true. They'll make some sort of data. So other youth will think that, oh, if I don't drink Coca-Cola, I am not modern. So this kind of false research also going. That's why you have to do ethical research. Next point, next slide. Yes, this some points are already explained, so I will not do fast. I will go. You have to be very critical about research. Research must be very rigorous. Don't take any sides, political, social, but you have to understand. Then also privilege indigenous voices. Next slide. Next. Represent diversity of cultures. Yeah, all the cultures are not same. All the people are not same thing. And allow people also to set the agenda. You don't decide. After getting some information, you can check it, what they think about it. Then indigenous worldviews. Yes. Okay, next. Next. Questions. What kind of key question? What research do you want to do? For whom it is? What difference will it make? What you want to do? What is the method that we'll use? Who will own the research? Who will benefit the research? Ask yourself and find the answer before you start your research. Simple questions, but they of course have to be addressed. Next. Yeah, so in order to develop a question, you have to have a clear purpose, know the topic quite well, and specify the people who are going to be interviewed or talked to, the purpose. This question add to the literature to help you to the knowledge. Next. Define the problem, use previous studies, we call it literature review, define research questions and objective, population and sample size, how many people you are going to study, develop preliminary questions, pre-test the questionnaire, test it for some time, cover letter, you have to prepare a letter to the people, explain to them or go and meet them. Method of collecting back the data. Somebody is not replying, then you write to them or go and meet them. Okay, next. Yeah, so here there are some of the type of questions you can ask, like age, gender. Sometimes people don't like their name, and you can say only no need of taking. If it's important for your study, you have information, what they know about the topic, about the attitude, opinion, what they feel about the government, okay, about the new guideline in the church about liturgy, then self-perception about themselves, about their values, beliefs, and action plan. Change, what is the change expected? What will happen as a result of any change in the policy, etc. Next. So we have basically three types of methods. Broadly speaking, there are many types, but quantitative research, simply said, quantitative means quantity means number, numbers. That means counting how many people. You want to find out the school dropout, you have to see how many children are dropping out of students enrolled, but 10 of them reach class 10. You can see the percentage. That's counting.
Father George, we lost you. I think there is a poor connection in the computer of Father George. Let's wait a moment he come back. Anyway, the cards are very, the slides are very illustrative, no? So we are going to put, I am just putting in the group and also in the folder. Also, you can find in the folder, in Drive folder, also the slides of the report, no? See, Father George can rejoin. So I think it's very important that we do all this because we are working with indigenous communities, indigenous groups, and organizations. So one of the points I underlines is that the person who is working with indigenous peoples should not be feel like a kind of an external agent, no? There are many, that's why even with Father Nipod, also Father George is underlined here. No people coming to command the communities what to do or to impose ideas and styles, no? But just to respect the indigenous traditions, cultures, and identity. That's why but we had to study, no? If you come from the indigenous community, you are already winning something very important, no? Because you know already what is your community. If you are coming from an external agent, you should work in that. Oh, Father George, we lost you.
Yes,
Welcome back.
I can hear you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what happened. So then don't be worried about methodology, but worry about both. So quantitative is about counting, about numbers and how much. Qualitative is about why, and more about explanation. Main methods and mixed method is combined. When you read the notes, you will understand this. Please. Yeah. So you have a different methods like these are sensitive questions. So don't ask straight away sensitive question. First build the confidence of the people. After that, you try to, when they open up, then you put a difficult question, sensitive question. Personal data also don't probe too much. Some people don't like to tell their name. It's a they don't like to tell the name. They will say son of so and so, daughter of so and so. That is how they are known. Even in the Bible, Simon Bar Jonah. So Simon, son of Jonah. No, so they don't tell. They are related. So you have to understand this. So don't probe too much. Don't question and demand. They don't give. Wait for another time. Next slide. Yeah. So here's a picture. Two objectives, three objectives. Three objectives. Two questions. Or number of questions in order to achieve one objective. You have to design the work. You have to prepare the questionnaire. So I'll explain next. Next slide. This next, yeah. Research process, and it's problem what to go research literature review. Anybody has done any study? Suppose I want to find out all the indigenous medicinal plants. Somebody may already done it, or somebody have done only in one village. So you may do for the whole bigger area. Better study. So what has already been done, you must understand. Literature review. Specify questions and hypotheses. I have explained hypothesis. Determine the methodology. How are you going to collect the information? What is the process? How will you collect the data? How are you going to analyze the? You cannot do alone. You can use the help of other people to do this to help you. But your work has to be your own. You have to direct it. You have to go through this experience of doing a research. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is a, thank you. Now there is a few minutes, I think. How many minutes? 2-3 minutes to ask questions.
We are over the time already, 2 minutes. Maybe yes, Father.
Yeah, if anybody has any question. So I will be giving you the written notes, descriptive notes, plus this PPT. You will get. After that, I will give you other things on Monday.
Sister Dory, you have a question, please?
Good afternoon. Yes, I arrived a little bit late, so maybe I missed some information. When you were talking about all this research, I wanted to know two things. One is when I hear the word of research, I feel in something more intellectual. But when I see your description of all the information you give is very active, very concrete, very, very enter directly with the community. So I wanted to see, to know, what is this research is intellectually or really entering communion and interrelationship with these people. And the second question is, how about your experience? All these contents that you presented, it is from your experience with the indigenous peoples, or it is your intellectual, like a way of pressing? The communication is a little bit difficult here to listen, and then also I am not English speaking, so maybe I lost some information that you gave. So I am not, if my question you already say, but I could not get it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Dory. Question. I know I am speaking fast. All are not following same speed, but we have time limit. Get the notes and the PPT. So please go through, and then we will again next Monday, I will start with the questions.
Okay. Good.
So you ask me, it is my experience. Because I teach in the university PhD students. There I have to follow intellectual method mostly, empirical from the community. I was also teaching in Philippines, PUP. I taught research methodology, but that's a different type of research methodology, more intellectual, but ours is a combination of both. We also have to be intellectual, but it has to be rooted in this experience. So we are trying to study. And so we are not studying for a degree, but for understanding the community better. And we can help the people. It's a pastoral ministry.
Okay.
Our roots is for a ministry. We want to help the people to understand their own better. We discuss with them, we use the data, we use all the tools of research to come up with a better way of improving our economy and so on. Okay, good question.
So thank you very much. Sorry, because the communication is a little bit difficult to get all the information, but I will follow the slides that you prepared that are very, very nice and seems very interesting. Thank you so much.
Notes are more important because they are more elaborate. So please, you can take a printout and underline and study, and PPT just a class.
Yes, thank you, Sister Dory.
Thank
You
you.
have always very interesting questions. I just will add something is what we are going in the ToT, but we are going to explore just that concept of the intellectual, no? Because we are talking about organic intellectual, this concept we are going to deep, no? When we see, you see organic food, organic products, etc. We are talking about organic intellectual, no? So we need to do an intellect also. That's why we talk about research, no? Because it is not just enough. I go to the community or I live in the community, but also I had to start to rescue the knowledge, ancestral knowledge, no? And this is that's why we had to apply some methods. That's why Father George mentioned something very important in the slide. You can see is don't let yourself live by the method, no? You have to be open precisely to the intellectual, natural things, no? What we call it the organic. But we are going to dive in also with Father George, with Father Nipod and others. Now we have, for example, Dr. Emil preparing also something about contextual theology. Also, we hope soon to have information from Father Samuel and everybody. Little by little, we create a process of a real intellectual, organic network. No? So I think we already are at the end of our session.
point,
Yes, Father George.
Albina?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Next week, can we have 1.5 hours so that we can have more discussion? 1
Okay,
hour
okay,
and
okay.
30 minutes. Yeah, yeah.
I will
So-
let the participants know so everybody can be
Yes,
prepared
yes.
for 1
Yeah,
hour
so
and
all
a half.
have
Okay.
questions you can.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, see, somebody
Thank
you can do the effort to stay the 1 hour and a half. We try to not to be too long so the people do not get tired or something that we can continue in our normal
Yeah, next time we'll
quotidian
have more
life.
discussion. Yeah.
Okay, so I say also our the leaders of the modules, so just get that information within enough time so we can share, so people can organize their agendas, calendar, etc. No, and everybody can find the material in the folder for bibliography of the ToT. So we start to put all the information there, and then we can start to work in that. So I wish you a very happy week and continue praying, especially during this time when we end the Passover and we enter into the ordinary time, preparing for the ToT and the travels we are going to undertake. So have a nice evening from Cambodia, Thailand, India, Laos, Philippines, Malaysia, Timor-Leste, and everywhere. So thank you very much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Father. Thank
Bye.
you,
See you
Father.
again.
Thank you.
See you. So you will
Thank
be
you
there.
so
You will be
much.
Okay,
careful for
bye.
your body.
Everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, Father.